Hey guys, I just bought this fan on Facebook Marketplace. It's a good fan, but it's so noisy. Okay, so I'm back on the car, and I want to bleed the brakes. You can see, I don't know whether if you go back long enough, you'll see that I actually cleaned out this reservoir, drained it all, cleaned it out, and refilled it, but it's dirty again. So whatever crap was inside the system is still inside the system, and it's just got to cycle through it. There's filters on either end. You can see them right there, in the picture, in the bottom of the reservoir. So hopefully whatever is coming into the reservoir isn't into the braking system. One would hope. In any case, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to try to bleed the brakes, and then once I bleed the brakes enough, then what I'll do is I'll drain whatever's inside this reservoir, clean it up, and then refill it with fresh fluid. So I mean, everything in here is fresh fluid, but it's obviously still collecting crap. But I'll do that, and hopefully that will clean up the system some, and then I'll just have to repeat the process a couple of times over to keep flushing the system out. But in any case, that's the job for today. Aside from that, I'm also going to tape up some of the wiring, some of the wiring that I took apart over here, just make sure that it's out of the way, and it doesn't interfere with anything else. And I think that would be it. Today's it rained yesterday, so today's a pretty cool day, relatively speaking. It's about 90 degrees, but it's bearable inside the shop. Once it gets past 90, it's impossible. But let me get the car up in the air, and then we'll start the bleeding process. All right, guys. So I topped up the brake fluid in the reservoir. I'm going to crank the engine, apply the brakes, and I'm just going to basically follow the same process that I would any other car that I bleed. So I'd start with the caliper that's furthest away from the what would be the master cylinder, or the valves in this case, and I'll just work my way across. The one on the right on the back, this one, then one in the front, and then the one on the left front, and then I'll do the return valve as well. So I'm going to crank the car. I'm going to use a little pry bar to apply the brakes, because you need the brakes applied, and then I'll go around. Alright guys, so I got through bleeding most of the brake system, but as I just showed you on the camera, the catalytic converter and the entire exhaust pipe is red hot. So I'm guessing that the carburetor is way out of adjustment. And so I shut the engine off because I really don't want to burn my building down, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on over there. But in any case, the brakes are mostly bled. I got through pretty much all the calipers, but I shut it down to let the everything cool down, because obviously if it's red hot, it's kind of a hair away from setting fire to something. So, and that's not something I want to do inside my shop. See there? That's the state of the brake fluid right there. It's not the healthiest. It came out really foamy. So there was plenty of air in the system. The only caliper that I really haven't finished yet is the one on the driver's side, the back one. So what I'll do is I'll give it a few, like 20 minutes, and then I'll crank it again, quickly bleed that brake caliper, and then try to figure out how I can adjust these carbs, because obviously it's running super rich and it's just dumping fuel into the catalytic converter, and as a result the catalytic converter is getting red hot. So you obviously see what's going on. You've got this blockage over here where somebody just basically bent the pipe, and I think that's basically preventing the system from breathing. Both exhaust manifolds, I think, well, maybe no, just one side goes through this, but that's probably what the problem is right now, what's preventing it from, what's making it get red hot. So I have my little sawzall over here, and I'm gonna see if I can cut this off and get it to breathe a little bit better. Alright guys, so now should have some breathing room. So what I got to do, I've got to remove this and just weld another piece onto this, bring it back. There's another muffler right there, so I'll have to basically mount this one up and then weld a piece from that one to this piece, make it work. So, but for now, I mean, the exhaust is at least breathing. It shouldn't get red hot. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this car out a little bit. I need to start using the lift for some other vehicles. I also want to give it a wash because it's filthy. Alright, so I pulled it out and gave it a quick bath. It actually isn't that bad a looking car. I got to figure out, I mean, I scraped all this crash tape off the windshield, and it came off pretty easily with a razor blade scraper, but obviously I can't use a razor blade scraper on the paintwork, otherwise I'll ruin it. But I think wax and degreaser, wax and grease remover, I think it'll do the job. So, overall, it's actually not a bad looking car with all its problems. It still has a lot of problems, I took it for a spin earlier on, and the brake accumulators are completely shot. So what I did, just to test it, it's on my property anyway, I shut the engine off while the car was rolling and applied the brakes, and it stopped, but it stopped like a car that had no brakes would stop. So it's got barely any pressure in it. So that's something I might need to take care of. Maybe I'll pull these off before my next trip to the UK and take them over and exchange them, or send them out. I know that there's a couple of local, I say local, stateside rebuilders. So I'll do that. But for now, let's take it for a spin, and that way you guys can see it running. So remember, it's noisy, but that's because the exhaust, the exhaust is missing in one section on the passenger side. Glass still needs a little bit more cleaning. I'll probably use lacquer thinner to get rid of the rest of it. But it runs okay. It's running super rich. I know that because I'm dumping gas into the tank like crazy. Just doing the testing that I'm doing shouldn't get rid of gallons of gas, but it does. And right now, I haven't got my foot all the way down, but I got my foot down close enough. And it's not, it doesn't really have that much power. So, it definitely needs more adjustment on the carburetors, and I was taking a look at them today, and I couldn't find the adjustment screws. They're not where I expected them to see them. So, but I know that they're there, and I have a SEO meter as well, so I can, really fine tune it if I can get to the adjustments. That's where we are right now. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll keep updating. Probably less during the summer because of the weather. It's just really, really hot. But I'll try to do as much as I can. Alright guys, thanks for your time, and if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe and continue to watch. Appreciate it.